Welcome everybody to another edition of Arash Cooks. Today we're going to be making a wonderful meal that involves steaming blue crab. However, in this particular situation, we don't have blue crab, we have locally sourced, not so local, Chinese crab that was fresh/frozen. However, we are following along a recipe that is referred to as the Maryland steamed blue crab. So with that, it involves an ample amount of beer, most of which goes in your belly, and some of which goes in the pot. We're gonna need some garlic, we're gonna need some butter, we are gonna need some apple cider vinegar, and we are gonna need some Cajun powder, and of course some tequila, but that's all for yourself. And without further ado, I'm gonna go into some of the particulars about how to make this delicious recipe, which you can make in your own condominium in the metropolis that you live in. So what we have over here are morsels of the crab itself. They're split off, cleaned, right down the center, and we thawed them for about 20 minutes in cold water. So make sure that once you kind of clean it out the first time with water, that it does not smell. Once they are fully thawed, then they're ready to go. And I'm going to show you how that takes place right now. Beer. Good for many reasons. Mostly for your stomach. However, in this particular situation, for a Maryland steamed blue crab that's not blue. We're going to be using Rickard's Red. Not that we're trying to do a color variation or anything like that, but really any beer is going to do. It is semi-sacrilegious what I'm about to do right now. Now you have two ways of doing this. If you have a multi-level steamer, you are in an advantage because I do not have that. So what I'm going to be doing is I have just a pretty big pot. This thing holds about almost 5.5 liters. And I'm going to pour, this is just sad, but for a good purpose. I'm going to pour about half of this, and then the rest will, of course, go in my cup. You can literally just drop the crab straight into here once it gets going. I have this contraption over here that's meant for steaming, but I've kind of repurposed it in order for me to be able to steam in a larger pot. So I just quite literally drop it in there. The next thing you want to do is, once you've thawed your lovely blue, not blue crab, is strain. Once you get a fair bit of the liquid out, dump it back in the bowl. And this is a kilogram. By the way, this costs $12 at a local market, and if you were to even remotely get this in a restaurant, something comparable in terms of flavor and quantity, you're paying 30 bucks a person. So just so you know, you're getting your bang for your buck. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to coat the living shit out of this with some Cajun seasoning. Now you could get this at your local bulk barn, and if you don't have a local bark barn, you could probably just get this at your local Whole Foods or you know, bazaar, wherever you live. We're gonna dump a fair portion of this, get it nice and coated. Just shake that up. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it should look like. Nice and covered all the way through, nice and thawed. And then at this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our beer boil going. Don't you love glass stovetops? So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna stack the blue crab / not blue crab in this lovely beer steam that we have going. And we're gonna need about between 12 and 15 minutes. And all that delicious beer flavor is gonna go straight into here. We're trying to orchestrate this in a manner whereby it's just the steam that's going to be touching it. And boom shakalaka. Now it's time to drink some tequila. Now it depends how much you love garlic. You gotta crush that garlic. You gotta crush it good. And once you crush it, you gotta take off the surroundings. Now, this is gonna be garlicky as fuck. The thinner you make the garlic slices, the more pungent your garlic will be. How about that? Now, we're gonna cut this up nicely. I don't have the appropriate knife, so please excuse me. / I don't care. Let me take a tequila shot. That's the stuff. I don't think this is the name of a serving, but let's just say a fuckload of butter. A fuckload of butter? How much would that be? A cup?
Stop swearing.
Fuckload. And we're just gonna drop it like it's hot. I bought this at Nation's Fresh Foods, St. Clair and Kiel. That's where I also got the crab. But also you get that from most Chinese places as well. So this is some really dense cornbread. I love to split this in half and just get it going on some butter. Do you hear the sound of that? That's the rattling of the steam. You let that magic happen. But in the meantime, don't burn yourself. Make sure you protect yourself when you're holding cast iron. And then as soon as that butter gets going, you go bam. And bam. Look at that perfection. Give that about a couple minutes. Flip it over, you really don't need to. Just let it do its thing. And in the meantime, we're getting our lovely butter and garlic melted because that's the most difficult recipe in the world. And also we got this guy right over here, which is on the verge of completion. Look at that. Lovely. Feast your eyes on the end results. What we have here is Maryland steamed crab done in beer, steamed in beer, with Cajun dressing. And we have some cornbread on a cast iron skillet with some butter. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, which you're supposed to take this and dip it in there and eat it, and a little bit of garlic butter.